Hi guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing this gouache set that Meeden sent me. Is their 24 pack. Personally, I've only ever used the Holbein brand of gouache, so I'm really interested in seeing if there's a difference. I really wanted to keep like a very limited palette. So this painting is for the most part going to be blue with some pink details, but I did use like brown, yellow, and white just for some contrast. I'm working on a pretty small piece today, so I just used a very small amount of paint because I just didn't want to waste it. I'm also going to be testing out these brushes. They look so nice. I've never had like actual like nice brushes. No shade to Walmart, but usually I'll just be getting like a cheap pack from Walmart. I've also been using this brush cleaner. It is also by Meeden. Honestly, just very convenient to have. It has a little place to hold your brushes. You'd always have fresh, clean water when you need it. Here's the vibes. I just wanted to show you guys my little workspace. So cute. I like starting off with making my life easier, making future Pamela's life easier by pre-mixing some colors. And like I said, this piece is going to be mainly blue for the most part with some pink. So I'm just mixing some of that blue color that I have on my palette. This gouache, personally, I recommend this because once the gouache is dry, it's a pretty difficult medium to blend. So if you want some seamless blending, I would advise you to do it kind of like how you would work with the watercolor with wet on wet. It blends pretty well. I do also do some dry brushing, but you have to sort of wait until the paint is completely dry, or else it does lift the paint off. That's why I'm starting with this base. It's important to start with a base, that way if the color does lift, at least when it lifts there will be some color underneath, not just plain white. If you don't wait for the paint to dry, it does lift the paint up and forth on it a lot, but you just gotta use that to your advantage. You know that information now, so in certain areas, if I needed it lighter, sometimes I didn't even have to use paint. I'll just go back and forth on the area if it's still wet and it'll lighten up. You know anything about gouache, you know that it is kind of like if acrylic and watercolor had a baby. The sense of like they're blendable with water like watercolor, but they're super opaque like acrylics. It is a very like interesting medium to work with if you've never used it before. It kind of dries chalky, like it has kind of like a chalk texture when it's dry. Here's an example of dry brushing. I'm basically just using what I have left on the brush. There's not a lot of moisture in there, but there still is color, and I'm going over all of the areas where it's supposed to be pretty dark. This color isn't as dark as I'm gonna get, but I just like to kind of map things out, especially because I'm essentially erasing all of my guidelines, like my pencil lines, so I can just know basically where everything is gonna go. I'm gonna start pre-mixing some shades with that dark brown and that blue that I have, and start adding a little bit more contrast that I see in the reference picture it is pretty dark. There's a lot of shadows, so I'm gonna start building those up in the second layer. This is the part where you gotta trust the process. I know it's looking a little crazy with that super dark color. Worried about blending right now. I just kind of want to lay down and map out where those darks are in the reference picture. Have that lighter color behind. It's prettier to make a transition color in between and really like blend those two colors together. And since I do have those darker colors already pre-mixed, it's easy for me to go back and create those transition colors and really blend those things together before they dry, because like I said, that's gonna give you a more seamless blend. That's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of trying to tidy everything up and transition those colors into each other so they won't look so patchy and blocky. The base colors are laid down already, so I am allowing myself to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more picky, and start adding more detail that I see in the reference picture. I'm not necessarily going for hyper realism, because I do appreciate like a painterly look. This is definitely, I think, when it starts getting out of the ugly stage. As soon as I add that pink, it starts becoming what I envisioned in my mind. So it's definitely up from here. Pink just makes everything better. But I could be biased because my favorite color is pink. real talk, as soon as I started adding detail to the pupil, it made me a little bit more excited to keep working on it. I will say I definitely do get inspired by a lot of other artists. I watch a lot of other people's YouTube videos, TikTok videos, whatever, and I don't understand how some people can like completely finish one little section of their painting or their drawing, like completely finish it and then move on to another section. I jump around so much, like I can't work on one little space for too long because I get bored. So you probably noticed I jump around a lot from section to section. Already kind of have to do that with gouache because you do have to wait for it to dry most of the time before you can add another layer. So I guess this medium works for me. I do use gouache a lot. Like I said, I use the Holbein ones a lot, and I've made many pieces using gouache. That's why I was really excited to see that there was a gouache set included in this painter set that I was getting from Meeden. Say at this stage of the painting, I'm getting pretty used to the formula and how it works. For highlights, I decided to very slightly tint the white with yellow. This was a very last minute decision, but I'm glad that I chose to do that. I don't know, I just think it made it look so good. Like, it's so subtle, but I don't know, I can notice, I can tell, and I just really appreciate the overall effect that it gave to it. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of this piece. So in my head, the idea of the heart pupil was basically the pupil is melting, and you know, just because it's melting, it's creating that point at the bottom. The top isn't necessarily that like curved shape that a heart has at the top, but the glare itself is what's supposed to be making it look like a heart shape. I don't know if that makes sense. If you saw the thumbnail, you probably already peeped what I do with that drip, but I got some plans for that drip. I got some plans for this whole painting, actually. One thing about me is, if you're gonna watch my videos, you're gonna know that I am dramatic and I am extra, and everything has to be pretty and cute. gonna just let you guys know right now, my phone died, it was late, and I did not get the rest of the video of me drawing these eyelashes, but you're gonna see them the next day. So it's the next day, and I'm gonna go get a coffee, because I deserve it. Outfit of the day. Yeah. May I get 2 double iced skinny vanilla lattes?
Yeah, for me.
You guys, I was not lying when I said everything had to be bougie and extra, and luckily I am a hoarder of exactly those things. Like, I have so much lace and buttons and sparkly things, and they deserve to be used, not just hoarded away. They deserve to be made into pretty art. So here we are. Gold, pearls, and pink are probably gonna be a very common theme on this channel, so just a forewarning. Just quickly gonna take this acrylic marker and clean up the edges just to tidy everything up. Honestly, I just chose some pretty things and started winging it. Started off by doing a pearl border with some Mod Podge. I quickly learned that you have to put it on there pretty thick and wait for it to get tacky, and that will definitely give you the best results in my opinion. Stuff will just stick better, it won't slide off. I'm picking up the little pearls with this cool little gem picker upper. Honestly, I don't know what it's called, I forgot, but it just makes life really convenient as opposed to using like tweezers. I also decided to add some little gold details with these heart shape gems. I don't know, what do we call them, gems? And oh my goodness, it looks so pretty. I love sparkly and shiny stuff. Decided to use this sparkly pink acrylic paint marker and the edges again. I just wanted to bring a little bit more pink into it. Thought that would be a very simple, like kind of a peekaboo way to add some pink, because you don't really. It's time to add this lace, this white trim lace. It has a little bit of gold detail at the end. It was a little too wide, so I did cut, I think it was like a little under an inch. Learned that the best technique was definitely to put glue on the piece itself, but also on the lace, and wait for both of them to get tacky, and that gave me the best result. I get tacky stage right before it dries, and it will stick really well. This fluffy pink trim to kind of hide where I had stuck that lace on, to hide the edges, you know, those raw edges. They don't look really nice, so I just thought this little skinny pink trim would be a really cute detail, like a really like minimal but effective way of hiding that. of the little scraps and lace, and that bow with a gold chain. And that's basically the stopping point. So now I'm going to show you guys the reveal. Ready? 1, 2. This far, thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe and let me know what you want to see more of, or if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Bye.